The Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Youth and Social Development, our engineer as well as a lawyer, engineer of youth. He was christened the engineer of youth. Mr. Olusegun Daudu, thank you, sir, for your continuous support. The Oniru of Iru land, His Royal Majesty of Oba Omogbolahan Lawal, in absentia, we understand is on his way. The INEC Commissioner for Lagos State, Mr. Olusegun Agbaje, ably represented by Mrs. Adenike Tadeshe. Thank you so much, Madam. The Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Command, Mr. Abiodun Alabi, ably represented today by the Police PRO, Mr. Benjamin Udein. Thank you, sir, for coming. The Consul General of the Spanish Embassy, Mr. Daniel Lusoda Mila. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your gracious hosting of the youth in Spain during the summer. They haven't been able to stop talking about it. Thank you very much. The principal consultant of Tekoda Consults, a retired permanent secretary from the Lagos State Government, Dr. Jamila Delunge. Thank you, sir, for coming. The directors of the Ministry of Youth and Social Development here present, especially the Director Youth, Mr. Abdul Latif Saha, and his team. The Chairman of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Lagos State Chapter, Biliaminu Oba. Where is he? Our ambassador, the Lagos State Ambassador, Zainab Aderomu. Gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Honorable Commissioner, I welcome you this afternoon to the closing ceremony of this program, the Police Youth Dialogue, tagged the Law Strategic Collaboration for a Safer Lagos. The dialogue is an intellectual gathering of young leaders in Lagos State, a platform where burning issues are discussed extensively in order to bridge the communication gap between the Lagos State Police Command and the youth resident in the state. Young people are a vital resource whose future prospects are inextricably tied to that of the country. They are the valued possession of any nation. So it is important to ensure that the line of communication between you and the police is always open. It is worthy to note that the dialogue has meaningfully engaged young people in the state to clarify the roles and functions of different security agencies within the state, understand civil rights and obligations in supporting the State Police Command and other security agencies in the state, discuss strategies to combat the high rate of insecurity within the state, and also profile ways to actively involve youth residents in Lagos State for better community policing and security information chain management. The ministry appreciates the support of the Independent National Electoral Commission officials and the various divisions to enlighten the youth on peaceful voting culture. I also want to commend the guest speakers for their excellent delivery and applaud all participants for the impactful engagement. Once again, I welcome you all to the closing ceremony of the second edition of the Lagos State Police Youth Dialogue. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for coming. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Thank you very much.
Next on the agenda, we're going to have the Consul General from the Spanish Embassy to come up here to give us his goodwill message in the person of Mr. Daniel Losada Mila. Thank you very much for supporting the Lagos State government. Thank you for doing all that you do with the Lagos government. We appreciate you very, very well. Thank you, sir.
Buenas tardes. Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Honourable Commissioner and friend, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, but most importantly, the youth, the young men and women who are present here today, for having invited me to the closing ceremony of what I am sure has been an extremely interesting discussion on police, youth, and the law, leading up, of course, to the 2023 elections and the role of our youth in enhancing security. As is clearly illustrated in today's society, our youth in Nigeria, in Spain, in any country, play a pivotal role in the area of monitoring, understanding, responding, and improving security in its many forms, in its many dimensions. Some of you might be aware that in the year 2015, and I'm a diplomat so I tend to refer to these elements, the United Nations Security Council adopted a very important resolution, 2250, on youth, peace, and security, which acknowledged the importance of the youth or their role that they can play in the prevention and resolution of conflicts. The international community has therefore clearly highlighted this crucial role that men and women play in the promotion of peace. Now it is our job, all of us, to do this locally. A key aspect, though, is always ensuring that the existing frameworks are complied with and that they help to guide our youth and provide them with the appropriate tools to make the right choices, to enable them to change and improve society. The law, and this is a crucial aspect, must be known and it must be accessible. This is not about imposing, this is about educating. And other than our immediate family, our school, our universities, who better to help in this task than the security forces? For they understand the rule of law and they are equipped both mentally and physically for this important task. Security forces therefore have the moral obligation to train, to educate, and to help our youth. Now, let us not forget, in the case of Nigeria, 70% of the population is under the age of 30. Now, if any of us think education is expensive, then try ignorance. This is a famous phrase attributed to Derek Bock, who is the former president of Harvard University. I think it's very powerful. I think it is a very important phrase. Now, in this context, we all have to work together. Civil society organizations, the private sector, communities, in order to realize the benefits, but also to counter the risks associated with youth and with security. The administration, all our administrations, the security forces, hence the police, must strive to protect the youth, but also to collaborate with them. We all share burden responsibility. We all share the responsibility of engaging young people, engaging all of you present here today, and especially youth community leaders in peace efforts and also in institutional reform process. I had the honor, the privilege of meeting the new youth ambassador for Lagos State this morning, as well as the previous one. I encourage you to work hard, and you can always count on Spain, you can always count on the Spanish consulate to help you in this task. I therefore wish you all great success in these coming months in the area of police, youth and law, in a period which I am sure will be a festival of democracy for Nigeria. So thank you very much and congratulations for this year's event. Build the youth, build the nation. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I'd like you to open for a minute. Thank you. Yes, I've been told that the Honorable Commissioner has something to present to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I will still make my speech later. The Consular General will soon leave us because, he's representing the whole of Spain in Lagos here. So he has a lot of activities that he needs to attend to. But just before he leaves, I just want to thank him very much. Last year, when we were planning, Mr. Governor said we should give opportunities to some of our youth to go travel outside the country for leadership training, for them to mingle, to learn more, and to expand their horizon. We got 15 youths together and 5 officials who went with them. But at that time, the tricky part is we can plan everything, but if they do not get a visa, they will not be able to travel. Then that was the question. I never met the Consular General before then. I wrote a letter to him, he invited us for a meeting. We went into his office, we explained our mission to him, and he did the unexpected. Because people will tell you that no embassy will give you 20 visas at a go. He did the unexpected and he issued all our youth visas. All he said was, let them go there, let them learn, and let them come back and impact on the people. I'm happy to say that they went and they all came back. Some of them are here today. I am sure, please come out. I know Fumi Akonishele, you are there. Some of you who went for that trip, Mr. Biliamin Oba, Ambassador Ademola, come and say thank you to Consular General again for what he did to us. And it's an opportunity for all of us, for all the youths. And he said something to me while sitting down there, that if we are planning another trip to Spain, we should let him know. So please, can you thank him for all of us? But before then, I just want to present a small gift to him. This is our Eyo masquerade. It's a symbol of Lagos. It is the masquerade comes out not often, but it's to celebrate excellence in Lagos. So, Consular, thank you very much. Thank you for your support, and thank you so much for
the representative of INEC and directors of the ministry here present, other agencies here present, the youth, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I bring you warm tidings from the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Command, CP Abiodun Alabi. He would have loved to be here. In fact, we were already making plans this morning to be here together, but duty called. He got a call from the Inspector General of Police. He had to quickly attend to another function somewhere else, and that's why he couldn't make it here. I'm happy to be part of this program, and it's a very laudable one. we all know that the youth and the police would always have friction. For the youth, out of youthful exuberance sometimes, and for the police, maybe out of impatience with the youth sometimes. But this is a very good platform where we can get to understand each other, where we get to see beyond the biases and know that the police is out there to make the society safer for the youth in particular and everybody in general, and the youth to get and the police to get to understand that the youth too would ordinarily love to support the police. And at the end of the day, we have a better society, we have better security, and we get more support from the youth. So this is a very interesting program, a very laudable one, like I said, and by virtue of being very close to the Commissioner of Police, I can give you free expo. I can let you know that beyond image making, the Commissioner of Police truly buys into this idea. He loves it. He loves it. As at yesterday, in preparation for today's program, he asked me. He said, "Tell me, you attended one. What was it like? Was it actually successful? Did they really achieve their mandate?" And I said, "Sir, they achieved more than their mandate." So I had to describe how the setting was, at least the one I attended at the opening ceremony. Like on each table you would see one policeman, and initially we were like forcing them to talk, but at the end of the day they were really talking and they were exchanging numbers, and the rapport developed, and he was happy. He nodded. He said, "Oh, it's a very good idea. I can't wait to be there tomorrow." But like I said, duty called. So this is a very laudable one. I commend the Commissioner of Youth and Social Development for bringing this idea up. I also thank the Governor of Lagos State for supporting this idea, and I'm hoping that the third edition of this program will be bigger and would achieve way more results than we have achieved now. So I'm happy to be here, and I can't wait to meet more youth here. We meet virtually all the time on Twitter. We do basketballs, we drag each other, we bash each other, but we are all trying to get a better society, and I can't wait to meet more of you before this program ends. Once again, I'm happy to be here, and Mr. Commissioner, I cannot but thank you and congratulate you one more time for bringing up this initiative. Once again, good afternoon, everyone.
Nobody is an island in the matter of security. Nobody is an island in doing all of this. So you do your bit, I do my bit, then we have a better nation. Please, let's clap for the Lagos State PPRO once again. Still with giving goodwill messages, I'm going to call to this podium right now the chairman of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Lagos State, Biliaminu Oba. Please, let's clap for him.
To our directors and the youth, let me start by saying that we must continue to appreciate Mr. Governor. And the reason why we must continue to appreciate him is because we have a youth-centric administration. When you look at what Mr. Governor has been doing, he has actually specifically concentrated on what he can do to actually add value to the youth constituency. One of the values that he has added is the approval of the police youth dialogue. And you can attest to this. I'm sure the police officers there will attest to this, that this is happening for the first time. There's nowhere in Nigeria that you see young people and the police under the same roof having conversations like this. And you see, the beauty of it is that what we had this year is actually different and is even more unique compared to what we had the last time. That it was just at a particular one location. This time around, in the wisdom of the Honorable Commissioner, it felt that there's a need for us to touch every part of the state, and that's why you see us going from we were at Ikeja Division to Ikorodu Division to Ekpe Division to Lagos Island. Today we are in Lagos Island and we are at Badagry Division as well. This is because the government is actually concerned about your yearnings as young people. Now, this dialogue won't be complete without us taking a kind of positive message back home. Because why the government has put this together is for us to change the narratives. And the narrative is that when you go back home, start correcting those things that people, the wrong perceptions that the public has toward the police officers. And also, please, we have people at the authorities here. We need to start telling the Nollywood actors and actresses the way they portray our force needs to be corrected, because only us can take our country to the next level. I'm saying a big thank you once again to our commissioner for showing love to the youth constituency. Lagos will be better for all of us. And Mr. Governor too, let's do the needful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please, can we give Obamilia a round of applause? Thank you. Build the youth. Build the nation. Build the nation. So back to back, I want to assure us all that it's going to be very brief and concise. Before we take the keynote address from our Honorable Commissioner, I'd like to recognize the presence of the Director General. He's actually a keynote presenter today, but I would like us to celebrate his presence. Please help me put your hands together for the Director General, Nigerian American Chambers of Commerce, Mr. Gbenga Adebija. A round of applause for him. Thank you very much, you're welcome. So before we get our keynote address from our Honorable Commissioner, I'd like to call one of us. I'm sure you know the person I'm talking about. Please put your hands together for the Lagos State Youth Ambassador as she comes on stage to give us a goodwill message. A round of applause for Ms. Zainab Adero.
The directors present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and of course, my fellow youth. This is a message to the policemen and women and all the youth present here today. I feel very, very humbled to represent millions of youth across Lagos State. And I'd like to start by saying that there is irrefutable evidence that there has been a disconnection between the youth and the police, which has birthed hatred and, of course, misconceptions about the police. However, with all the 5 dialogues replicated across the 5 divisions, the 5 administrative divisions in Lagos, I believe that we would now begin to reshape our perceptions and to turn our hatred into collaboration with the police. With this newness of belief comes a newness of attitude. And I stand here before the representative of the Commissioner of Police, the foremost police officer in Lagos State, to celebrate and appreciate our gallant, hardworking, committed, and trustworthy world-class police for taking up the huge responsibility of protecting our lives and properties. I implore every police officer in this room to please forget whatever wrongdoing you think that a youth might have perpetrated against you or the police. Embrace us and see us as your younger ones, as your brothers, your sons, your daughters, your sisters, as we now begin to see you in the same light. I am delighted to inform you that with the Police Youth Dialogue, we are not only are we enlightened after the dialogues, but we are now awakened. Our empathy and the humanity in us has now been awakened, such that we see you as vulnerable people just like us, but who display strength in order to protect us. For that, I say thank you. Finally, my fellow youth, I invite you to see this platform as a seed that the Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu-led administration has sown, which would help us birth a safer and a greater Lagos rising. Thank you.
Once again, this is the Lagos State government program that has been established by the Lagos State government under the Ministry of Youth and Social Development. It is the second edition of the Lagos Police Youth dialogue, and this is a closing ceremony today, and the theme is the police, youth, and the law, strategic collaborations for a safer Lagos. Please, once again, let's give it up for the Lagos State Governor in the person of His Excellency Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Please, let's clap for him. He's a man that gives opportunity to everybody. Right now, I'm going to be calling on the man at the helm of our affairs in this beautiful ministry, the Ministry of Youth and Social Development. It is time for him to come right here to give his keynote address. And he's no other person than the Honorable Commissioner for the Ministry of Youth and Social Development in the person of Mr. Olusegun Daudu. Please give him a round of applause. I was thinking it will come with a standing ovation for him. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Youth and Social Development, Pharmacist, Mrs. Toyin Oke-Oson-Itolu. The Consular General of the Spanish Embassy, Mr. Daniel Losada Miller. Directors of the ministry here present, Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Command, ably represented by this PPRO Benjamin Hundeyin. The Resident Electoral Commissioner, INEC Lagos State, ably represented by Mrs. Adenike Tadeshe. The youths of Lagos here present and watching out of here, distinguished gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to be here this afternoon at the second edition of Police Youth Dialogue, which is planned to mend, build trust, heal and strengthen the relationship between law enforcement personnel and the young people of Lagos State. The dialogue is also designed as a tangible tool to bring attention to issues causing tension between law enforcement officers and the youth, thereby building a model towards restorative justice rather than punitive discipline. I'm happy with the large turnout of the participants here today and also at the programs held in other divisions of the state. This, to me, shows that we're ready for a lawful, peaceful, and safe Lagos of our dreams. This is also to reaffirm the general saying that police is your friend, both in theory and most especially in practice. Lagos State, with about 12 million youth, has a large number of young people who are energetic, enterprising, and resourceful. With their peaceful and responsible conduct impacting in the development of the state, this large number of the population are contributing to its GDP through their involvement in business activities such as arts and craft, fashion, entertainment, ICT, and others. It is important to note that the police also have youths in its cadre whose energy, vigor, vibrancy, responsible conduct, vitality can affect the development and security of the state. However, it must be said that some youth are labeled troublemakers because their strength and energy are not channeled to positive use. As a measure of correcting this, the law enforcement officers sometimes see the youth as a problem to be solved, thus assuming all youths to be of the same traits. Based on this correctional approach and method adopted by some of the law enforcement officers, the youths do complain, and they often do complain that their basic rights, such as the right to live, right to the freedom of movement, freedom of speech, and association, are often being denied. As earlier mentioned, a vast number of our youth are in the entertainment business, such as actors, musicians, comedians, and so on. In the course of this business, and also on social media platforms, such as Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and so on, we see emulation of some foreign trends, especially in musical videos, fashion, and style. Emulating these foreign trends sometimes provides the source with which young people form their identities. Most times, trends such as tattoos, dreadlocks, public smoking, sagging, wearing of tight short dresses, and so on, does not seem agreeable to some people's societal belief of decent appearance and dressing. This sometimes make law enforcement officers label our young people as Yahoo boys and girls, criminal or miscreants because of his or her appearance. But we must realize that times have changed. The world is now a global village and is evolving. We must therefore show understanding to our youth appearances these days. Having tattoo or mode of dressing does not make one a criminal. We will continue to implore our youth also to obey the laws of the land, uphold law and order, and eschew crime and violence in all forms. Our law enforcement agencies or agents should in return understand that the vast majority of our youth are law-abiding and should be treated as such until the contrary is proven. So thank you very much. Let me just conclude by saying I implore our police officers and the youth to begin the building of a better understanding of each other and the strengthening of your relationship. This will surely be a continuous process, like I've said, and so will this police-youth dialogue will continue to be a continuous process. And we hope that other parts of the country will take it up as well, because the police officers do not only work in Lagos, and we know that some of them do get transferred to other states. And it is by doing so, those who have interacted with you today might not be here tomorrow. But we will continue to do our own, and I will continue to talk to my own colleagues in other states to take this thing up so that they too can have this kind of program in the various states of the Federation. Thank you very much for listening to me. God bless you all.
We can do better for the Honorable Commissioner for the Ministry of Youth and Social Development.
The conduct of the Presidential and National Assembly elections, scheduled to hold on the 25th February 2023, is exactly 35 days away from today. The governorship and state houses of assembly election is slated for the 11th March 2023, and polling units will open at 8:30 a.m. in the morning and closes by 2:30. And that is not to say that those people that will be on the queue will not be attended to, but at exactly 2:30, the presiding officer will stay at the back of the queue so that no other person will join. Therefore, the rate of political activities has increased as political parties, candidates, and their supporters commence campaign, rallies, processions, and media advertisements to their voters. The Commission has on its part published the final list of 15,322 candidates for the general election, representing 18 registered political parties across the Federation and contesting for 1,491 seats. That is 1 presidential, 28 governorship, 109 senatorial, 360 House of Representatives and 993 state assembly constituencies. And the electoral data for the Federation. In the Federation, we have local government area offices. We have 774, while the registration area that we call wards stand at 8,809, while the total figure of polling units nationwide is 176,846. And in Lagos State, the electoral constituency, we have the Senate 3, Federal House of Rep 24, State House of Assembly 40, local government in the state 20, registration area works 245, and the polling unit stands at 13,345. The Commission has continued to work around the clock towards ensuring that no stone is left unturned for the creation of very conducive electoral environment for an all-inclusive participation of all stakeholders. It is worthy of note that out of 14 items on the timetable and schedule of activities for the 2023 general election, 11 activities have been carried out successfully by the Commission, with the publication of official register for the election on 11th January 2023, in line with Section 10, subsection 4 of the Electoral Act 2022. Another outstanding activities on the timetable are publication of notice of poll by the Commission, and this will come out on the 30th January 2023. Last day for Presidential and National Assembly campaign by political parties is 23rd February 2023, while that for governorship and State House of Assembly is put on the 9th March 2023. That means 24 hours to the poll. The date for the election, once again, Presidential and National Assembly, 25th February 2023, governorship and State Houses of Assembly, and 11th March 2023. And the ongoing collection of permanent voter cards, that one is very, very essential. I want to briefly dwell on that. We all know that without the collection of the PVC, without you having a PVC, there is no way you can perform your franchise on election day. That's a prerequisite. And for you to be eligible to have your PVC, you must be a Nigerian. You must be 18 years and above, and your name must be on the register. That means you must have registered during the last registration exercise, or the one we had last. It's 2011 over 2018 when we had the 2019 general election. So now as we speak, we are still at the registration area location, that is arrays, the 245 arrays we have in Lagos State. And we shall be there till 22nd of this January for the collection of the permanent voter card before we revert to the LGAs, the 20 LGAs we have in Lagos State. So please, we want to implore our people to please ensure you avail yourself the opportunity of coming out to collect this permanent voters card. And if I want to ask, how many of us, as we sit now, have PVCs? By show of hands, please. This side, what is happening? You do not have PVC? Oh, that is not good enough. Please, we want to tell you we have all the full complements of the PVCs in the state. So please avail yourself, because you cannot afford to wait till the last minute rush. We are rounding up the exercise on the 29th of this January 2023. That means if you don't have PVC, you do not have any business doing at the polling units on election day. In the meantime, the Commission at the State Office has activated a help desk to directly receive complaints from all stakeholders and the general public through the phone number 081454-19483. I take that again, 08145-419-483. The above activities undertaken by the Commission under the new Electoral Act 2022 are pointers to the fact that the Commission is poised to deliver to Nigerians free, fair, credible, and acceptable and all-inclusive election. Then what is the free and fair in the context of peaceful voting culture? Somebody might want to ask that. There are necessary ingredients for election to be regarded as free, fair, and credible. The required ingredients will be considered as follows in order to appreciate their importance under a peaceful voting culture. People must be free to do certain things, and what are the things? 1, to form political parties, join or not join a political party, to register as a voter, to be a candidate, to decide whom to vote for, and also to vote and cast a secret ballot. We all know that we operate secret ballot voting. On election day, you are allowed to come to the voting cubicle. Let me quickly say this. INEC is always telling us that when you are coming to the voting, the polling unit, you can come with your mobile phones. You can come, but immediately you have been issued with a ballot paper. You do not have that opportunity of going to the cubicle to vote with your phone. And one might want to ask me why that. That is what INEC has put in place to a considerable extent to checkmate this issue of vote buying. Because you know how people have been taking their phone or any other device that can snap to show that this is the candidate I've voted for, to collect whatever. I don't know. But we are telling our people that you do not have the opportunity. Once you get to the polling unit, you have been issued your the ballot paper. Please hand over your phone to another person to hold for you. Then the general environment must be free from certain things like violence, coercion, bribery, corruption, cheating, intimidation, and rigging. What should be fair? Laws, non-discriminatory, and apply equally to all participants in the electoral process. Regulations do not set up requirements that are difficult for people to fulfill, and procedures simple enough for the electorate to understand and participate. That who should be fair? I know some people want to ask that questions. EMB, the election management body, and all the election officials should be fair. The government should be fair. The political parties and candidates should be fair. The electorate must be fair. The media must be fair. The security agents must and should be fair, and the judiciary as well. The expected roles of the youth in ensuring a violent, free 2023 general election. The role of the youth in the incoming election cannot be downplayed, as they constitute 39.65% of the total registered voters in Nigeria. Youth within the age group 18 to 34 has a record of 37,060,399 of the total registered voters of 93.4 million. We can see that things are changing now in Nigeria with our youths. They are really coming out. Gone are the days when youth will sit, you call them, they even sleep in the house on election day. You call them to come and register. Most of them will come, they will register, they collect their PVC. On election day, they see an election day as a public holiday. They will sleep in the house. And when the election result is being announced, this thing is not good, I might not come out this time, but we can see a tremendous change now. That is the figure of the nationwide figure. But even in Lagos State, I want to tell you that our youths are really doing well. They registered a lot, they are collecting their PVC, but the ultimate is for you to come on election day to do that, which is your franchise to the elect leaders of your choice. The youth, going by the statistics, have become a formidable force to be reckoned with in the upcoming general election. The statistics notwithstanding, the youth must eschew all types of electoral vices and embrace peaceful voting culture for youth to occupy their rightful place as leaders. My boss put leaders of tomorrow, but leaders of today. Now, the youth have enormous role to play in ensuring that the conduct of the election is free from all forms of vices. Among others, the youth must eschew violence in all ramifications and deploy their energies in nation building, get involved in voter sensitization and awareness drive, join volunteer groups like CSO and NGOs. We have the likes of the YAGA. We have Vote Not Fight. We have Enough is Enough and all others. And you must be registered as a voter. Now, let me quickly go to the some relevant provision of the Electoral Act 2022 relating to electoral offences and the penalties. We have 11, I will just only mention one. Being in possession of more than one valid voter is an offence. You are entitled to a voter card at a time. One man, one vote. One PVC, one man, one woman. And that is it. So conclusively, I'll deliver the message of my honorable rank. So I want to skip so many things. Conclusively, as we all know that election is driven by multi-agency collaboration, I wish to inform this August gathering that the Commission is ever willing to collaborate with all groups, including the youth and other critical stakeholders in ensuring that the 2023 general election is free, fair, and credible in Lagos State, and in particular, Nigeria. God bless Lagos State. God bless Nigeria. God bless Nigeria.
Right now, we're going to have the keynote presentation, and the keynote presentation will be given by the Director General, Nigerian American Chamber of Commerce, in the person of Mr. Gbenga Adebija. He will be talking about the topic, the police, the youth, and the law, strategic collaboration for a safer Lagos. Please give him a round of applause.
So I would like to say a big thank you to Mr. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and also thank you to the wonderful police command that we have in Lagos State. Please give them a round of applause. So our talk today is based on the theme police and community collaboration, with special emphasis on the interface with the youth. That is the approach we are going to follow. And we'll look at this topic from a global perspective, then from a continental perspective, and then Nigeria, and then finally Lagos State. Now, I know that the average attention span for youths and adults is about 20 minutes, especially in this digital era, before people start pressing their phones. So I'll speak for only about 5 to 7 minutes and then round up.
Let's go this way.
First and foremost, let's agree. What is police and community collaboration? It is a philosophy that promotes the systematic use of partnerships and problem-solving techniques to address proactively the immediate conditions that give rise to public safety issues such as crime, social disorder, and general insecurity. Police relations with the youth is of great importance for many reasons, especially because the youth make up a sizable population of the states as well as the country. It is also from the youths that successive generations of policemen are recruited. Therefore, the importance of the police and youth relations cannot be overemphasized. Let us look at the engagement between the police and the youth community in other geographies, starting with the United States of America, where it is widely regarded as America's public safety lifeline. In America, it is believed that positive relations between the police and youth preserves societal values and lifestyle. It is seen as a reflection of the larger society and the cultural and socio-economic future aspirations of the country. And therefore, in America, the police engage meaningfully with the youth on purpose-oriented initiatives such as police youth academies, police youth mentorships, character education programs, and community action. Are we together so far? In Europe, the framework is called community-oriented policing, which is based on 6 pillars, part of which the Honorable Commissioner actually spoke on: trust and confidence building, accountability, information sharing, communication, crime prevention, and collaboration. Across Asia,
The police always make the effort to involve the youth in crime prevention initiatives. And the strategic thinking is that the closer the bond between the youth and the police, the lesser the incidence of crime. So just like in the USA, these initiatives include giving talks to the youth on Career Day to plant the seed of interest in the youth so that they find the vocation of law enforcement more attractive. Here in Nigeria, the gold standard for best practice between the youth and the police can be found in Lagos State. I'm not sure you heard me, so I'm going to repeat that. The best practice, the gold standard, the best way of police and youth engagement throughout Nigeria can be found in Lagos State. From my research, there is no other state in all of the 36 states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that has done up to half of what Lagos State has done. Do I have to repeat that? I said out of all the 36 states in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, there is no state that has done up to half of what Lagos State has done. It is important to continuously create and sustain platforms which will bring together the youth and the police through engagements such as this event as we have today. So let me conclude by offering a few recommendations. The first one, and I want our police officers to listen very attentively, is a police appreciation day throughout Lagos State, whereby citizens will offer gifts and demonstrate friendship to the police force on that day. We have Pastors Appreciation Day, we have Teachers Appreciation Day, we have all kinds of days. Why don't we have a Police Appreciation Day throughout Lagos State? Finally, I would like to call on other state governments to emulate Lagos State, learn from what Lagos State is doing, and creatively replicate these initiatives in their own states, so that this remarkable achievement that we've seen in Lagos State can be done pan-Nigeria, so that the entire country can benefit accordingly. God bless the youths, God bless the police, God bless Lagos State, God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria, God bless us all. Thank you so very much for listening.
Thank you very much.